Every second, there are countless battles for life and death taking place inside your body. Your cells are constantly under siege by microscopic invaders, and yet the army that defeats them is often left in the shadows. Despite their outsized impact, the soldiers, intelligence officers, and heavy weapons that defend you from death are understudied and misunderstood. Today, I would like to shed some light on these unsung heroes of the body. I am of course referring to the human immune system and its many facets. Hi, my name is Braden, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I am a biological sciences major at Drexel University with a minor in pathobiology. I have taken extensive coursework in cell, molecular, and microbiology, and have also performed independent experiments looking at the impact of bacterial infections on the human body. With that said, I understand how important the immune system is and how it is at the core of our very being. That is what I would like to talk about today. So, of course, we're going to touch on the human immune system, and we're going to start with the innate immune system. So concerning the innate immune system, it is present at your birth and consists of general purpose defenses. It is responsible for detecting foreign bodies such as bacteria and viruses and has a fast response, which is anywhere from a few minutes to several hours. However, it possesses no memory. That is, it will attack any pathogen in a similar manner. So some key players here, we have the macrophage, whose name means large eater in Greek, and it kills through phagocytosis, which is a process where the macrophage will grab a bacteria and ingest it, digesting it with acid. The neutrophil, to its right, is the most common type of white blood cell and consumes bacteria in a similar manner while also causing inflammation. The neutrophil is actually quite violent, and if it's not quickly deactivated by the body, can cause harm to your body. Meanwhile, the inflammation caused by the neutrophil brings in the complement protein, which are to its right currently. There are upwards of 15 quintillion existing in your bloodstream at this time. While they themselves are not alive, if a specific stimuli is given, they will rearrange into something called the MAC, which is the membrane attack complex. We'll talk more about that later. Dendritic cell, whose name is derived from dendron, is the liaison between the innate and the adaptive immune system, and it activates helper T cells, which we'll see on the next slide. Now that you understand the basics and the general purpose soldiers of your immune system, let us move on to the adaptive immune system, which is the central intelligence agency of your army. It develops through exposure in the world. It is comprised of specific defenses, as you can see on the right, but has a relatively slow response that is anywhere from several hours, being 12, 15 hours, to a few days. However, this system has a memory. There is a specific sequence in the adaptive immune system for each pathogen, and that makes it incredibly effective once it's up and running. So we'll take a look here. We have T cells. They are named after the source of production, which is the thymus. It is a butterfly-shaped organ around here on you. It has multiple forms. We're going to be talking specifically about the helper and memory cell. And as I said earlier about the adaptive immune system in general, it is pathogen specific. They activate B cells to the right of them. They have multiple forms. We're going to be talking about plasma and memory B cells. They are pathogen specific as well and produce up to 2,000 antibodies per second, which is to the right of them. Antibodies attach to pathogens, activate complement, attract macrophages and neutrophils, and there are roughly 1 quintillion unique antibody types among them. So this particular bacterial defense sequence contains parts from the adaptive immune system. So if you sustain a minor cut, neutrophils and macrophages would be the first upon the scene and would attack the bacteria with vigor. Complement proteins would then arrive and would form the MAC. The dendritic cell, meanwhile, will be sampling the pathogen, activating T cells with that recognized antigen. T cells would then activate B cells and would also reinvigorate tired macrophages and neutrophils. B cells would produce antibodies, and memory T and B cells would remain with low levels of antibodies produced continually. So unlike the previous section, where the adaptive immune system was involved, this viral defense sequence contains only the innate immune system response. So after a virus has infected a host cell, it will release cytokines which alert several innate cells to its position. Complement proteins will come in on the inflammation and will construct MAC facilities, and viral particles are largely consumed while outside the host cells, as they are defenseless during this period of time. Now, of course, I have only given a little synopsis of the immune system and just shown a spotlight on very specific parts, but hopefully you've started to understand the incredible significance this system has on your body and on every human every single day. So though I have looked at an individual level, the immune system is far more complex than I have explained here. Each aspect we covered is woven together, and no cell stands alone, no defense goes without a failsafe. Consider a large flock of birds making wide swoops in the sky. While the pattern of one is clear, and the general motion of several is vaguely grasped, the whole is amorphous and immeasurable. Similarly, while individually each cell is inconsequential and unintelligent, when the system coalesces, a majestic, effective, and essential network emerges. Your body is host to tens of millions of cells who fight battles, remember foes, and die in droves so that you might live another day. The least we can do is be aware of their selfless contributions and admire the beautiful complexity of the system that sustains us all.